Welcome to the Blue Box Podcast. I'm your host, Lil Herm, and around here, we analyze, critique, and explore the artistic vision that shapes album covers, whether it be from the bold and extravagant or to the minimal and subtle. Our goal? To uncover what makes these visuals iconic and how they've influenced culture, not just through mainstream rappers and entertainers, but also by upcoming and rising artists. So, open the box, step inside, and let's break down the art behind the sound, one cover at a time. You're listening to the Blue Box Podcast. What's cracking with you, ABE fam? Show us a blessing to be back in the Blue Box as we critique a succession. Here, we critique, comment, compare, contextualize, contemplate, classify, and curate album covers. I'm your captain of these 7 C's, Lil Herm, steering you through the waves of color, composition, and cover design. This is where we break down the art behind the sound, one cover at a time. So anchor up and let's get into it. Last episode, we took a look at 21 Pilots' album, Vessel, where we use introspection to uncover possible symbolism. In today's episode, we jumping back into the hip-hop genre with our boy Isaiah Rashad and his album, The Sun's Tirade. Me personally, I've never heard about him before my research for this episode, so I'm learning about him too. But let me know in the comments if you listen to him, and if so, what tracks stand out to you the most. Anyways, as always, let's jump into some history on today's artist, Isaiah Rashad. Isaiah Rashad is from Chattanooga, Tennessee, born on May 16th, 1991. Coming up, his pops would let him stay up late and listen to music with artists like Too Short and Scarface. Believe it or not, before he became a rapper, he was on the path to become a preacher. But that changed when his stepbrother introduced him to the ATLiens album by Outkast. After listening to that album, Isaiah spent most of his time rapping. That's a pretty dramatic change, going from the road to become a preacher to the road of becoming a rapper. When Isaiah hit 10th grade, that's when he took rapping seriously and started recording tracks with his friends on laptops. During this time, his first stage name was Zay Taylor. Eventually, a friend of Rashad introduced him to a cousin who let him record for free. He began networking with industry figures like DJ Z from DJ Booth and Jeff Wise from Rolling Stone, gaining exposure. In the summer of 2012, Rashad joined the Smokers Club tour with other artists like Juicy J, Joey Badass, and Smoke DZA, which gained him even more recognition. In March 2013, Isaiah Rashad met Dave Free of DigiPlus Phonics, who introduced him to Dawg Entertainment CEO Anthony Tiffith. He did eventually sign to TDE in 2013. In November, he announced his debut project, Sylvia, which was later revealed to be a mixtape titled Sylvia Demo. Sylvia Demo released on January 28, 2014, featuring major artists like SZA, J-Rock, and Schoolboy Q. So while Sylvia was his first project under Dawg Entertainment, it was just a mixtape and not an actual debut album. While just a mixtape, it still became very popular and appealed on the Billboard 200 chart. It also got him featured on XXL magazine's annual freshman class feature. For those who don't know what XXL magazine is, it's a magazine focusing on rap, hip-hop culture, and artist interviews. Also, for those who don't know what Billboard 200 is another magazine that ranks the 200 most popular albums and extended plays in the US each week. They do this ranking based on a number of factors such as album sales, track equivalent albums, and streaming equivalent albums. In August 2016, he dropped Free Lunch, a track in the Sun's Tirade album, and confirmed the Sun's Tirade as his debut album under Dawg Entertainment, which was released in 2016. And this is the album that we'll be looking at today. It debuted at number 17 on the Billboard 200, selling 19,000 copies in its first week. The album was created during his battles with depression and addiction to Xanax and alcohol, which almost got him dropped or released from Dawg Entertainment. The album has a reflective, conscious tone with influences of hip-hop, trap, soul, and jazz. It features guest appearances from major artists like Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock, and SZA. The Sun's Tirade was also produced by a handful of producers like Mike Will Made It, D. Sanders, Cam Obi, JLBS, The Antidote, and Chris Kaler and others. That concludes the history on Isaiah Rashad. Now let's dive into the album art critique. While listening to the album, it gave me a vibe of a lo-fi sound, which could be good for sleep and or relaxation. The album has also got that slow burn energy, you know, the kind of thing that folks will relax to on a late night kickback while messing with that MJ. Even the album suggests this by having the cartoon character, which we can assume is Isaiah himself, floating in the sky among the clouds, representing being high. This idea may also tie into his addiction and depression. But before we get any deeper into the cover art, let's acknowledge a dude named Brian Blue. Real quick, that's a dope last name, and I'm low-key kind of jealous. He also goes by the name Blue the Great. I'll throw his IG link in the description below. According to Blue's IG post in regards to this cover, it's the first one he's ever done. He also says it was hand-drawn, then colored in Photoshop. If y'all want to see me attempt to make an album cover like this, drop in the comments, colored in. Now, diving deeper into the critique, if you look at the cartoon character's hoodie, you can clearly see two letters, D and E. We can safely assume that the first letter is a T, which is acknowledgement to the music label of TDE, or Dawg Entertainment. For the next element about this album cover, let's take a look at the black frame. It makes viewers feel like they're looking into another world. This is the case because it creates a separation between the viewer's reality and the surreal, almost dreamlike setting of the art. So the frame is basically acting like a window into Rashad's mind, or a cinematic letterbox, giving it a widescreen story feel, making the scene feel more curated and intentional. Kind of like if you're watching a movie about his life rather than simply seeing a static image. It also acts as two other things. It acts as a contrast amplifier. The dark border makes the vibrant colors inside pop even more, pulling the viewer's focus inward. And it's also acting as a psychological barrier. You're observing his experiences but not fully inside of them. This mirrors the album's introspective nature. It's almost like the black frame is saying, this is my world, but you're just getting a glimpse. It's intimate yet distant. We're invited in, but we can never fully step into his reality. Next up, we have the car. The car is a type of old school lowrider or convertible of some kind. I think in this situation, it's just a representation of the hip hop culture, as this type of vehicle is often associated with that. For the next element of this cover, let's observe the sky. It has a color gradient blend of purples, pinks, and blues. This could suggest either sunset or sunrise, which ties into the word sun that's in the title. There's also a small planet and a moon, which wouldn't normally appear together, but this hints at a dreamlike or psychedelic state of mind, tying it back to the idea of being high, which again ties it back to Isaiah Rashad's addictive struggles. Because of the sky atmosphere, time kind of feels ambiguous, which could be symbolizing being outside of reality in regards to time. Another critiquing point on this album cover is the good use of the color wheel. I'll throw an image of that on screen, but as you can see, blues are opposite of reds and oranges, which is depicted cleverly, the sky versus the car. Also on the color wheel, greens are opposite of purples, which is also demonstrated on this album cover. Isaiah Rashad's pants versus parts of the sky. Lastly, the use of the word tirade in the title. Tirade is a passionate, extending outpouring, often frustration, pain, or deep feelings. And that's exactly what Rashad delivers through his music in this album. The album feels like one long release of thoughts he's been holding in about his addictions, of depressions, career struggles, and relationships. In conclusion, when you step back and take it all in, this cover isn't just a drawing. It's an invitation into Isaiah Rashad's inner world. Every color, every detail, and even that thick black frame works together to tell us we're looking at a representation of his life from the outside. The frame keeps us at just enough distance to remind us that this is his reality and not ours. But it still pulls us in with this chill and relaxed vibe, along with its urban graffiti-like illustration. Like the music inside, it's both personal and universal, and vulnerable and yet guarded. It's also grounded in personal struggle. In a way, the cover does what the album does. It lets you peek into the storm, but only for as long as Rashad allows. But that's just my take. What about yours? When you look at the Sun's Tirade cover, what story does it tell you? Drop your thoughts down in the comments or feel free to DM or email me them. Also, if you enjoyed this little breakdown, be sure to like, subscribe, and share so we can keep exploring album art together. Also, be sure to go back and check out some of my other episodes as well. This has been another episode of the Blue Box Podcast where we break down the art behind the sound, one cover at a time.